Good morning. Should be live streaming now, July 8th on a Friday morning, 9 a.m. Oh, I made it 9 a.m. 8:59. Well, I looked at my watch. 8:59. I was upstairs. Got down here in time to do that. Start on time, I mean. Taking a look here to see if I am actually streaming. I'll put the headset on. I need to not have an alarm ringing right then at start time. Checking audio. Come on, say something. Checking audio. There, the delay finally came through. Tony says AVD VR good. I'm not up to date on what's in the chat room. I'm just going to go ahead and get the show rolling. These episodes that I call Windows Daily, Monday through Friday, I don't interact with the chat room as much as I do on Saturdays. And what I actually do is interact with the chat from yesterday, today. So I'm coming over here to monitor number 1 and get up to the beginning of the black text in the chat room yesterday. Yesterday's episode was Windows Daily number 10, Troubleshooting Blue Screen of Death on Big Beast build. From the chat, all of the stuff that I have copied here is from Lawn Dog. Well, not quite all. Let's see. Oh, there's Arnold, just a greetings all. It's my intent is to paste the comments that are on point regarding the subject matter. I'm not going to read through all of Lawn Dog's comments here. I just want to declare that, yeah, I'm on the same page with pretty much everything he said. Except here on Cold Boot, back in the days of Windows 7, for me, Cold Boot goes back to the days of a IBM PC-1. That was a big steel tank of a computer that had a big red toggle switch on the side. Cold Boot for that was just turn the power switch off. We didn't bother with unplugging it because in those days the power supplies were not electronic. We didn't have to unplug them. But yes, certainly I do remember it, and that actually still is valid. I don't think most people, I don't trust my clients anyway to understand the term cold boot. So if I want them to do that, I talk them all the way through doing that. And that has been the solution for quite a good number of things, is to actually unplug power, hold down the power button to drain the capacitors, and then start it back up. Now, let's see, now Windows 10 Dave, I think probably that was a typo on the word Dave. The fast boot. Disabling fast boot is part of my setup checklist for setting up a computer. I don't always disable it. This Lawn Dog mentioning this here gave me an idea about a little different twist on Windows Daily. The thumbnail for these videos is indicating something about Windows troubleshooting, but I was thinking, how about a little different twist on that, as in trouble preventing, because disabling fast boot, the reason why I do it on some of my clients' computers is to prevent a service call. And he's given some more detail about how to get there, and yeah, I'm aware of all of that. So what I'm saying is I think I may be doing a video specifically showing that, and then also showing the thing that Zavi Minor pointed out about disabling hibernation and getting rid of that hibernate file. So I'm going to run through that. And then from email, I got an email actually from PayPal. Jeff Ryman sent a $10 contribution. So thank you, Jeff. And he said, thanks for helping everybody. And then another email was from Paul Field in regards to a response that I made on a comment that he made on a video. And actually my response was on air, I guess. I think that was yesterday. About his nonstop disk light flashing issue and he tells us that he has a Samsung Evo Plus and using Magician. And it occurred to me, well, Magician is a monitoring software, monitoring the NVMe. So some of the other people that are active in this channel probably know this, because I don't use Magician Magic because Big Beast Build doesn't have a Samsung NVMe. The 8 terabyte, yes, 8 terabyte NVMe in this computer is not Samsung. So I was wondering, what if you just uninstall Magician? Does that light stop happening? And maybe other people in the chat or in the video comments afterwards might give a clarification on that. And he mentions that he's Greenwich Mean Time plus 1 hour, so he's 9 hours ahead of me. So if we were to try to do this on a Saturday live stream, starting at 11 a.m. Pacific time, for him that would be 9 p.m. No, 8 plus 1 is 9. It would be 8 p.m. for him. I would be open to doing an earlier live stream on a Saturday to do that, but if it's simply uninstalling the software and the light stops flashing, well, that kind of says that that's the problem. I also have not tried a Google search. So I kind of like to hear back through comments or email from Paul, see what happens when you uninstall that. Okay, so that's the end of all that. I'm going to highlight all this stuff in green so that I know that I've dealt with it all. Going all through. Lawn Dog was very active. I'm happy with the activity. There's no complaint about the number of chat comments that he put in. Okay, so let's get on point for today. Today's video is Windows Daily 11 troubleshooting the July 6th stream failure Big Beast Build. So yesterday I talked about the blue screen errors that I had on July 4th. Well, on July 6th, I canceled the live stream for Windows Daily, and now I'm going to tell you why and take you through the photos from that. So coming here, this is the first photo. I'm going to press the left arrow key to go back to the prior photo. This was the last photo from the July 4th episode. And you can see that up at the top. We have the date and time showing at the top. So right arrow. Let's go take a quick look at chat and be sure there's no problem here. Heat not so much too. Thunderstorming. Okay, so nobody's saying anything about a problem with the live stream. So we'll move on. So here on July 6th, 8:28 a.m. Remember, you know that the live stream on July 6th was supposed to start at 9 a.m. This is what's happening half an hour before the stream starts. I tried to launch XSplit and it would not launch. Right arrow key to get a close-up. XSplit broadcaster, the graph goes up to this point and won't go past that. Next thing, I noticed that there's this yellow line around each of my monitors, and I had not previously noticed that. See that yellow line around all of those? I thought, is that indicating a problem? I don't know. So I'm going back forward in the photos. Before this picture, because of recent experiences, you know what I did, right? Full power cycle of Big Beast Build. Shut it down, turn off the power switch on the power supply, unplug the power cord, hold down the power button to drain the capacitors. Because I was on a short timeline, I didn't walk away and leave it for a period of time. I just held down the power button. 10 seconds is enough to do it, not just a press and release. Hold it down for 10 seconds. And if you have a power light on the exterior of the power supply, when that light goes out, you know that it's completely out. If you just pull the power plug and watch that light might stay on for minutes. So the power's not drained until you hold down that power button and really get it shut down. So that did not solve the problem. I started the computer up, had the same symptoms. So then I go to check disk. And the reason why I went this way is because I have a couple of clients using OneDrive. I'm using OneDrive, where when Microsoft Access program that I developed for them, would fail to launch, and it would get fixed every time with doing check disk. So I did that. So here's the first picture I took was at stage 4, and I'm going to hammer through these pictures pretty quick because there's just showing the progress. If I stop on the picture long enough, it'll clear up. I didn't know if it was going to get stuck at any point. So when I'm doing these pictures for this type of troubleshooting, I take them through the process. Now, when we get to the last picture, we'll go back and yeah, this is the last picture. So up at the top, we can see that that was 9:02 a.m. after the live stream was supposed to have started. So right about 9 a.m., I put a comment into the community screen on my channel, and thank you for some of you that replied and let me know that you did get that message indicating that I would be canceling for the day. So that was 9:02 as the last of those check disk, and going back to the first of the check disk, that started at 8:38, so that was like 20 minutes for it to run through the check disk. I tell people when I'm running a check disk on their computer that we should allow anywhere from 5 minutes to 2 hours. It depends upon how much problems that it finds and how much difficulty the computer has in fixing the problems. So this is the computer starting up. I've got the spinning circle of dots, and then it is started, and I'm showing here where I'm actually launching XSplit to see what happens next. Did this fix the problem? XSplit always gives me user account control, so I'm clicking yes here. And then I took another picture right away. You see all 3 monitors are clear. Right arrow key again. We're at 9:05 now, and there's XSplit trying to launch. Does it work this time? What do you think? And Doug's still talking, so probably not. Now this is another part of XSplit that I took to be another clue as to what's going on. And that up to this point, I hadn't really paid attention as to when this happens. You can see that blue graph line behind there. It has already made some progress. This is asking which presentation I want to open into XSplit. And if you're not aware, XSplit is the streaming software that I'm using right now to live stream this video. So my choices here is to load the current presentation, which is normally what I do, or load a previous system backed up presentation, or load a presentation previously saved to a file, or create a new presentation. I don't think I got pictures of going through all those variations, but when I realized that this graph is at the point where it's trying to load those, that gave me the reasoning that well, maybe it's those presentation files at fault. So I put my mouse right at the edge of that line in this method. That's a technique that I've used for years. Anytime I'm finding a problem with a computer or have a process that is not, is not estimating the time very well, and it kind of goes along and gets stuck somewhere and then advances further, I'll put the mouse right there and then walk away, so that I can tell whether it's progressing at all. Not necessarily walk away. Sometimes I just put the mouse there and I can see it just creep forward a little bit. So that's just a technique. And then I'm making note that those yellow lines around the monitors is still there. So it failed to load. Now I'm looking at Task Manager, and I've got a few pictures of Task Manager, and what we're going to notice is that these numbers are changing, which means it's doing something. It's trying to load the presentation of the program. So they're going back one picture. That's the 5.1 at the top. We'll just focus on that one, that top line. And then there's a 4.9, and then a 5.1, and then a 5.2, and a 4.9. This is a technique that I use to determine when a program seems to be locked up or crashed. I want to come in here in Task Manager and see, is it active? Is it doing something? Are these numbers changing? I come back here and see that it hasn't moved at all. It's still lined up with my mouse. And let's see, I've got my mouse. I don't know if you're seeing my second mouse there, the one that's live right now. And there, it looks like I moved the mouse away. So then here's my next thing as I come into uninstall program screen. I get to this with appwiz.cpl. So it's Windows key R, appwiz.cpl gets me straight into the screen. So I clicked on XSplit Broadcaster and I'm going to do a repair. So right arrow key, and then user account control for doing this repair. Please wait while Windows configures XSplit Broadcaster, and then it brings up XSplit VCam. And remember what happened 2 days earlier. I had a suspicion was the virtual cam part of the cause of those blue screens that I was having when I was using OBS, Streamlabs OBS Prime, because the blue screens did complain about XSplit AUD. So here we got the VCam involved again. That doesn't really show a correlation because, of course, if I'm doing a repair to XSplit, it's going to need that component to be closed. So I'm going to let it automatically close that application and attempt to restart them after setup is complete, pressing right arrow key. By the way, up here at the top, we are now at 4:41 p.m. So this was later in the day when I came back to try to repair this. Please wait while Windows configures XSplit Broadcaster, and more of that. Did that green graph? Oh, here what happened in the meantime is I just minimized this screen that was in the background, which was a Fortnite screen. So now we're at 4:42 p.m. Right arrow key again. This is still doing this repair operation. The graph has gone on to another progression of the graph. Time remaining 20 seconds. I don't trust that. And then here, warning 1909, could not create shortcut XSplit Broadcaster adm.lnk. Verified destination folder exists and that you can access it. I believe that this is simply a shortcut on the desktop it's trying to create, and it probably can't create it because it's already there. A little bit of a shortcoming with this repair procedure because it should recognize the reason why it can't create that link on the desktop is because it's already there. Right arrow key again is that same message, and then time remaining 1 second, 1 second. And now here I'm showing the AppWiz screen. XSplit Broadcaster is showing an installation date of 2 days prior on July 4th. Now, remember, that's when I was having the blue screen issues. And then my mouse is up here on the refresh button. So I click refresh, and this updates to show the current date, July 6th when I was doing this, which is 2 days ago now. Right arrow key again, and then here I'm going to launch XSplit Broadcaster. Answer yes to user account control, and here you see my 3 monitors. On the left side I have Zoom open. I'm expecting XSplit to open up over here. Right arrow key again, there's the XSplit splash screen. Right arrow key again, and there's that presentation choice. Right arrow key again, I'm showing a close-up of that. I believe at this point I loaded the current presentation and then showing the progress of that. So I do a couple more photo clicks, and there's Doug sitting at the desk with the camera. And I think I clicked that actually just before I realized that the picture was up on screen. So the solution in this case was repair, and I'm showing here with this photo that yellow line around the monitors is normal when XSplit is open. I just had never noticed that before. Now this one goes to the problem that I had the next day, yesterday. Here where I'm trying to log in, and I put in a password and it tells me password is incorrect. Not going to talk about that today. That's not tomorrow, because tomorrow's Saturday. That would be most likely Monday. All right, so that is the story of July 6th and why there was no Windows Daily on that day. Let's come back to there's chat, and I'm just going to take a quick look at chat, not reading through comments, just seeing what's going on. And it looks like there's a fair amount of chit chat between people, and I will look through those later. So that's all for this session. How am I doing? 20 minutes. Well, I'm kind of not making my goal of 5 to 15 minutes per day, but unless you want to think my goal is at least that. That's all for today. I hope that was useful. Have a great day, everybody. Catch you later. Goodbye.